Well, hi there Petals, it's your boy Harvey here again, back in the mix for another vid. For today, I thought I'd spontaneously give you my thoughts on the Grammys 2021. And for most of you who know me and probably watching this, I am a big music kid. I love my music, I'm very passionate. I always have many opinions because I'm an opinionated hoe. And I thought, let's get into it. Let's have a nice little discussion, give you my humble opinion, a critical one at that as well. And yeah, just have a bit of a kiki about it, really. And gang, don't forget to subscribe, to like, to comment. You know how it all works. Share it to your friends, show some love to the big gay H, and let's get into it. And by the way, sorry for the lighting. Like I say, it's a last minute video, don't have half my equipment with me. So you're gonna have to put up with it, and I thought I'd wear a lovely little blue beanie for you, because I love you. So, firstly, I thought we could get into the snubs. I must say, I do think there were a few artists this year who were mugged off, which I'm not entirely the happiest about. We all, I think, can agree The Weeknd kind of mug off not one nomination, and I'll be honest with you, I think it's his best album he's ever done. So, you know, I was expecting him to get, to be honest with you, lead nominations, and nada. So yeah, it's a shame firstly on The Weeknd I would have shouted that out there because I think he could have won Album of the Year this year, but it is what it is. Secondly, I'd like to talk about Halsey. Now, I personally think Halsey is one of the greatest songwriters and one of the greatest melodic writers of the pop game right now. I think she's incredible. I think she's so sick. I can't believe she was snubbed. She made a statement about it as well. I didn't really see people make an uproar as much about her, and I think there should have been one because honestly, I thought she would have had some of the leading nominations this year. I think the album was banging. So, if you haven't heard it, by the way, it's called Manic, and please check it out because the bitch slayed. And you know, I'm one of those people where, especially with Halsey, like I'm a big fan of Halsey, but I tend to try not be judgmental of people's albums in terms of, you know, you could release one great moment and it doesn't mean you're gonna always release them. So for this, I was a bit meh about the album coming out, and I was a bit patient actually. I don't think I heard it till about a week after it came out, but I was when I heard it, and from that moment it was in my top albums of 2020. So Halsey, that is also a shame. You deserve more. So there were other people who I also thought were snubbed in the awards, but those are the two people from the awards who I really thought deserved recognition. Don't get me wrong, there's a lot of underground artists who I believe should have been more celebrated, but you know, they go for commercial music, so we're gonna base it to a certain point on commercial music. Let's get into the awards. So, firstly, I did actually notice, normally Album of the Year is the biggest award of the night, but they made Record of the Year the last award, basically stating that that's the biggest one. And I guess we're now living in a single streaming world. I really don't fuck with that, and I really don't agree with it, because albums are your bodies of work. You can release a great single, but no. It's a bit like a Whitney Houston. I love Whitney Houston, but listen to her albums, the singles are the songs. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, Record of the Year was won by Billie Eilish, Everything I Wanted. And I will say, I love the song. I think it's beautifully written. Billie is a fucking icon. We all know she is. I don't think she should have won Record of the Year personally. I think when you look at it, I think the Grammys should really, you know, it's the biggest music ceremony of the year. It's the biggest night. So I think you should kind of look at a whole, what would kind of be remembered in that year. And I just personally think like the two in the categories, I really think Don't Start Now or Say So should have been given the nod. I think Don't Start Now is a 10 out of 10 song, same as Say So. Disco pop anthems. Maybe I'm biased because I fucking love disco, but I think one of them should have won. If you gave it to me, I would have said Say So. I think it's a bit of a mug off, but you know what I mean? Like I say, still good for Billie. I wasn't mad about it, but moving on to Album of the Year. Now this is a category I do think was massively kind of snubbed for a few artists. And when you kind of look at the list, I mean, I've actually heard all of the albums. I was very happy Jacob Collier was in there. I think he's very talented. But in general, to be honest with you, we're gonna get into Future Nostalgia by Dua Lipa, because that won Best Pop Vocal Album, and I was happy for that. But if you asked my opinion, I would have put Harry Styles' Fine Line in there for Album of the Year, and I would have given him the award. I do think he made, in mainstream music, the best album of the year, in my humble opinion. Phenomenal, Golden, Adore You, Lights On, You Better Work Bitch, Watermelon Sugar, Slap Me Up. But to be honest, you look at Album of the Year, I was happy Folklore won, and for those of you who actually wouldn't know, Folklore was Taylor Swift's third Album of the Year win, and that would mean she's the fourth artist ever and the first female artist to ever get Album of the Year 3 times. The other 3 artists were Paul Simon, Frank Sinatra, and Stevie Wonder. So you can imagine how big of a deal that really is. I was kind of hoping Adele one day would be the first artist to grab 3 at the Album of the Year, but slay for Taylor. I can't lie to you, I do love the album, I just don't know if entirely she should have won. And actually, I do kind of think a mug off on Black Pumas. A lot of people I found actually haven't heard that Black Pumas album, but it's actually fucking amazing. incredible. And out of all those people on the list, I maybe would have given it to Black Pumas or Cholombo by Jhené Aiko. That was like an R&B meditation album, and the bitch likes to meditate here, so I maybe would have given it to her. A bit of a mug off, but what can you do? Next up, we have Song of the Year. I'll be honest with you, I'm not that mad by Song of the Year. I would have given it to, well, as you can see on the list, I would have given it to either Dua Lipa, Don't Start Now, or I Can't Breathe by her. That was a fucking amazing song, so beautiful. Obviously very politically important, so we stand, good for them showing off the BLM movement. Slay, I'm not gonna fault that, can't fault that. It was important. So now we have Best New Artist, and this is where I get a complicated relationship with the Grammys, because they change their rules over and over throughout the years. And I understand for progression and whatever, but not in this sense. They've changed the rules as far as I'm aware about 5 times, and they have famously snubbed a lot of people from Best New Artist, including Whitney Houston in 1986, which kind of annoyed me, and Lady Gaga in 2009. So, you know, it is what it is. But Megan Thee Stallion actually won this on the list that you see, and I'll be honest, Megan won 3 the other night. She had Best Rap Song, Best Rap Performance, absolutely banging, fair enough, Savage was the moment. But Best New Artist, I'll be honest, she's had an album before this. I wouldn't really say this was her year. And you know, back in the day, the Grammys would basically state that you would have to have released an album within the year that you're in the industry to be eligible for Best New Artist. In the last year or two, they basically now changed it to saying you can have up to 3 albums. Don't really think that's a new artist, I think that's a bit of a fucking joke. So, you know, I don't think half the people should have actually been in the category. So if I was basing it off that, I say Phoebe Bridgers should have won. I personally think she's a fucking icon. She did an alternative rock album and it was incredible. Elton John did also famously say he was gonna hit someone if she didn't win, so I hope he does, because she was snubbed the whole night. She's another snub artist on my list. I think it was a bit of a joke. I think she was up for 4 as well, and I thought she really portrayed something quite different to what a lot of people have done over the last few years in alternative music, so, you know, justice for Phoebe. And to be honest with you, even taking out the rules and contradictions of the Grammys, I actually would have given it to Doja Cat. I really think she had such a strong year coming through. She did release, I think, an album called Amala in like 2019 or 2018, but, you know, maybe it's me being a bit of an arsehole here, but I've just known Megan Thee Stallion for a few years now. I wouldn't really call her a new artist. I didn't really get it. And Billie Eilish did actually annoy me. Her speech to Megan I did think was a little bit overrated. I'm sorry. Are we really going to ignore what Dua Lipa delivered on Future Nostalgia? I'm sorry. That was what you call an artist evolution to superstardom. The branding, incredible. She literally gave me Future Nostalgia. It's the 1970s today. It was Studio 54 realness, and I live my fantasy whenever I see a performance or hear the songs. Stunning. Yes, guys, I do have a little princess pen. I wrote some things down before, but now I'm using it as like my little bippity-boppity poo. So moving on, we have Best Pop Vocal Album. I was happy to see Dua Lipa win it out of all the people you see here. Like I say, I would have put Harry in the main category. In my ideal world, he would have got Album of the Year. Dua would have got Best Pop Vocal Album. So, you know, I have that category, haven't got much to say, but a nod to her. She was up for 6 Grammys and got 1. I do just think Don't Start Now should have got something. I'm sorry, I really think Don't Start Now was the best song of the fucking year. And lastly, I will say, because to be honest with you, I kind of did all the main general categories. I don't think everyone would know all the people in the rock or alternative or the hip hop category, so I thought I'd just give you the basics. And lastly, it is Best Pop Solo Performance. The reason I wrote this down is because Harry Styles won the Grammy for Watermelon Sugar out of these nominees. And I will be honest with you, I was so happy to see him get some recognition for that album, because I really thought that was an amazing album. He, I think, did the same as Dua Lipa, really showed progression as an artist from the first to the second album, so slay. Honestly, stand for it, as I can't really mention enough clearly. But I don't think he should have won that award. It's about solo performance, and guys, do your research if you want, but if you see Doja Cat's performances in the last year, to Say So alone, they are different genres. She gives you from 1950s burlesque to rock to, if you literally look at the Grammy performance she did the other night, like, I mean, 3, at the top of my head, 3 diverse performances, absolutely amazing. Do not tell me how she did not win. She gave me everything I needed as an artist. So, I don't really get it, but it is what it is. I'm not mad, at least there was artists I love who did get the recognition. So then lastly, guys, we're gonna go into the performances. I'm gonna give you a brief highlight, this is just gonna be a little quick video today of who I thought was the best. I think Dua Lipa really took me to Studio 54. I stand for it, levitating into Don't Start Now, and the bitch can finally dance a little bit more, which I am so here for. So she gave me the fantasy that I really needed. It was a great execution as usual. Doja Cat, like I say, she called it the funeral to Say So. Guys, please watch it, because I am gagged by it. I have watched it so many times. She gives me my motherfucking life. Honestly, that bitch can perform. I will also give it to Billie Eilish. I think Billie is one of those artists, which I think is quite rare these days, where someone could just stand there and sing and you're completely you're lost in it. Like, I lose all my senses when I hear that woman's voice live. I think she's got such an incredible voice, and just watching her, she's a visionary. Like, I stand so hard for her live performances. So that, as usual, didn't disappoint me. It was everything I wanted. Mwah. My music heart was fed. And lastly, I'm gonna give Bruno Mars and Anderson .Paak. They did their song Leave the Door Open, and I cannot tell you how excited I am for this collaboration album they are doing. I think Anderson and Bruno are two incredible artists individually, so bringing them together, honestly, I gagged for the announcement, for the moment. They are what I call kings. I was very happy with their performance. They gave me exactly what I expected. It was old school, it gave me Bootsy Collins vibes, it was just slick, it was 70s, it was gorgeous. I was here for it. I really hope, I presume this album is going to be incredible, to be honest with you. From Leave the Door Open, I already think that's exactly what I was expecting. And I'd like to see them get lead nominations next year if they deliver. But I really have strong faith. I think they're two of the most consistent artists of our time, and some of the most talented artists of our time. So really, the performances for me were like top dollar. I was here for them. There are others who I thought were good, but those four were my highlights. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, my little brief review of what I thought. Overall, I'm not mad, I'm not happy by them. Performances were more of a peak to me. I do think it was a strong year in the nominees. Still think it would have been a bit of a game changer if a few artists were put in different slots in different places. You know, it's nice to see artists celebrated anyway. I was still happy that people like Dua won and Billie. And deep down, Taylor Swift Folklore was a great album. So, you know, I'm not mad by it. I feel like they are now starting to listen as well, when they're putting a lot of underground artists in. Diana Major 9. She was nominated, didn't win, but Kali Uchis and Kate Renata won for their song 10%, which made me very, very happy. I think that's an amazing song. I didn't think they were gonna win because it was kind of such an unknown song, but you know, they beat big ballers, so I was here for it. And yeah, guys, if you kind of like my music opinions, you know, let me know if you'd like to see more things like this. I'm a bit of a trial and error here, but you know, Grammys tend to be like my favourite night, well, music politics wise, my favourite music night of the year. So yeah, I'm absolutely now sweating. But if you like this, like I say, like, comment, subscribe. Hope you enjoyed this video, and until next time, I adore you. It's actually daytime, so I'm gonna say bon après-midi. Mwah. Au revoir.